Hi guys, and welcome to Mr. 305's reviews. Once again, we've got a brand new aircraft on the line here. This is the Iris Simulations PC-21 aircraft, which has been kindly sent to me by David from Iris to have a little look at in the pre-release stage. So the aircraft's not been released yet, so this may not be the final product, but it's very close. There's no details on pricing or release dates as yet. So they sent this across for us to have a little look at, have a little play around, and this is basically where we can have a look at the exterior models and stuff like that, and that the beta testers can to iron out all the problems before it's released for the production line. Not too sure whether this aircraft's getting released for Xbox as yet. That will get confirmed when it gets released by Iris themselves. This aircraft, a little bit about it, is to train the next generation of military pilots. Pilot has developed the next generation of trainer, the PC-21, designed and built specifically with student pilots in mind. With Air Force budgets under continuous pressure, the PC-21 provides a cost-effective and highly efficient training solution. So basically this aircraft is to train fast jet pilots. It's got all the handling capabilities of a fast jet pilot, and obviously all the interior cockpit is geared upon fast jets. The Royal Air Force here in the UK use the Takeoff aircraft, which is very similar to this. Extremely similar, but it's just an older version. This version, I believe, is a brand new, based on a brand new aircraft out of the factory. So you can see it's just lovely and shiny. And yes, what the RAF pilots train in before they move into the fast jet, i.e. the Hawk. Similar capabilities of handling, similar G's you can pull, and obviously it's subsonic as well. A little bit of information about this aircraft. It's got a maximum speed of 370 knots, a stall speed of 81 knots, and it's also got a rating of 8 Gs during aerobatic shows or 5 Gs during normal operations. A wingspan of 9.11 meters, and it's got a maximum takeoff weight of 3.1 tons, so 3,100 kilograms, and zero fuel weight of 2,750 kilograms. And the maximum operating altitude for this aircraft is 25,000 feet. I thought it would obviously go a lot higher than that, but no, 25,000 feet is the maximum altitude for this aircraft. So as you can see, we've been sent to have a little look at it, and I have not flown it yet. I'm going to save this for the video because I do like to kind of go through the video with you guys and go through it as if I'd just bought the aircraft and I was learning how to fly it. So yeah, here we are. And first impressions. Having a look, I've gone for the plain white livery today. So this is what it would look like if you bought it directly from the factory, before you put your livery on it or got your livery sprayed to it. So yeah, let's go ahead and have a look at it. One thing I've done already, okay guys, with this aircraft is to get the static elements on. All you've got to do is knock your payload to 0, take your payload off 0, and your static elements will disappear and your pilots will appear. You obviously your trainer in the back there and your pilot in the front. So take that off and it puts your remove before flight stickers on and all your vents and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and have a quick look at the exterior model. Now, I must just say I'm quite impressed with this. The Takeoff for FSX, when that was out, was a great little aircraft, one of my favourite to zoom around the lakes in. And yeah, having sat in one before in real life, this is a very similar aircraft indeed. You see, you've got your external fuel tanks there mounted to this. I don't think you can take them off just yet, unless there's a button in there that you can tap. I've had a quick read in the manual, which was released today for us. I'm not too sure you can jettison them off or get rid of them yet, so there must be. I think they're trying to work on that in the payload section. So we'll go ahead, let's have a little zoom in and see what the textures are like on this aircraft. So far so good. You've got, I mean, look at that reflection of the canopy there. That's absolutely beautiful. Wow. All the rivets are visible. Even the writing on the front undercarriage there, you've got the aircraft weight, nose tire pressure. It's all readable, which is a nice thing to see. It's a nice little touch, that. You've got your landing lights there on the nose wheel, which are LED. You can actually see the individual LEDs there as well, which is pretty cool. Your propeller textures are looking good. Have a little look around the outside of the wings. Rivets are looking good around the canopy as well. A little bit of flickering going on in the jettison cockpit there at the top, but that might just be a little glitch with the lighting there. LED systems all around on this aircraft. There's no halogen bulbs, it's all LED, and we'll have a little look at those in a little minute, because I believe they probably need a little bit more work doing to those. But yeah, everything looks fantastic on the outside. Landing gear itself, I can't really zoom in to landing gear. Tell you what we'll do, we'll go outside there, we'll drop down, we'll go forward. Now we can have a look at the textures in the landing gear. Yeah, textures are quite good. I mean, they could probably get a little bit more of high definition on the textures on the gear, especially on the tyres there. So they're a little bit bland, but hey ho, not complaining too much. It's still in development, so hopefully we'll fix all that up. But yeah, the nose gear is good, and the suspension on this aircraft does model quite well as well. I have pushed it back on some gravel, and it does model quite well, but we'll have a little look at that in a little while. So coming around the back, you've got your elevators and your ailerons and your rudder. I fly with the Alpha Bravo combination with Logitech pedals, and it all feels quite responsive there. Yeah, beautiful. Have a look around the top of the aircraft. Yeah, and that cockpit looks absolutely beautiful there. I must admit, it's very well modelled. David and the team have done a fantastic job, I think, with this aircraft, and it's about time we had something like this come in, you know, where there is like a fast turboprop aircraft that you can do acrobatics and you can have fun with your friends in. Especially now Microsoft have brought in this invisibility. You can turn the invisibility off now, so you can fly in close combination with each other. They do have a team available that do fly these, the Royal Australian Air Force Virtual, and the night rides or something like that. I'm not too sure where. I'm sure there's a group that do fly these, and that they're quite famous on YouTube and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and have a quick look inside. This is your seat if you're flying this aircraft. This is where you would sit and operate all the systems on board this aircraft. You've got 3 MFD screens and a hood, and you've got a couple of mirrors there. The mirrors aren't modelled yet. I'm not sure whether they're coming. I'll have to check on our forum group. But I've only joined that today, so I haven't really had a good read through. But yeah, I don't know whether that's a Microsoft thing that they can't model that yet until DX12 is actually finalised in the system. But basically everything you see in this aircraft works. You've got your FMS system down here that all works, and all your other systems, and you know all the buttons work. Everything works as it should. We're going to skip now to the rear. You do have to set up your own custom view, unfortunately. So you are going to have to. I put it as Control Alt 2. So Alt and 2 should take me in the back, and there you go. This is the instructor seat now. Probably sat a little bit too low down actually. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And this is, you don't have as many controls in the back than you do in the front, but the FMS system is usable, and some of the buttons do work, but you do have to transfer the avionics to the back. Alright, which I'll show you in just a tick. So let's go ahead. Let's get this canopy open as if we're getting into the aircraft today. So the canopy open is to press the operation latch. When you do load the aircraft in a cold state, okay, this pin here will be in the cockpit there, okay? Now, I believe that will change, because you should be able to close the cockpit with that pin stuck in there. Alright. So what you would do, basically, when you remove that pin, that would normally arm the jettison system for the canopy. And obviously you remove that to close the canopy before flight. But you should be able to leave that in and close the canopy as well. So obviously you wouldn't have the jettison active when it's in for maintenance or when it's just closed on the tarmac. Alright, everything's protected to protect staff and maintenance crews. So we'll go ahead. What we'll do is if we're getting in the aircraft. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get rid of all the static displays. There we go. So that 23. So now we've got pilots that have appeared. We've still got chocks, but now we are ready for engine startup and taxi. All the static elements have been removed. Pilots are now in situ. So we'll go ahead and we shall turn the power on. So the power buttons are located down here. Battery 1 and battery 2. Okay. This menu here, it will load up like this on the system screen. And if you scroll across to instruments there, alright, you can set different lighting modes for your instruments as well. Right, and also we've got a ground power unit which can be connected, which goes in the back, which is kind of provided by Iris Simulations there. If you want to sit on the tarmac for a little while, go through some training systems, you can. We've got the set start mode, so you can press any of these and it will obviously start the aircraft for you into a taxi mode or into a takeoff mode. Alright. MMP, solo and team, I'm not too sure what that does yet. I'll have to read through the manual again. I couldn't really see what that does, but you can change the altitude from millibars or to inches there, and also you can change the hood, which I'll show you in just a tinkle. So fuel is in external fuel tanks there. At the minute you cannot change that. Okay, so that's unchangeable at the minute. I don't know why, but we'll come to that today. So see what it says here, cockpit front. If you then press that, and you'll notice that all the systems now have gone across to the rear. Alright, so this is now in the instructors mode, and you've got access to the cockpit now. And all you've got to do is just press rear again, get rid of that, put it back in to the front. Alright, so what we'll go ahead and do, we'll go ahead and close the cockpit. We're going to turn the FMS system on. We're going to turn the hood. All the other systems, activate those. I'm going to align that. Alright, and then what we're going to do, we're going to get ahead as a start. So we need to arm the canopy. So remove the pin. Then we can shut the canopy. Then we need to secure and lock the canopy. Canopy locked and secured. Okay, and then we need to, or what you need to do as well, guys, you need to remove the ejection seat pin as well. So press the bottom seat there, you'll see the pin come out. And it's the same for the instructor, you will have to remove the pin for him also. And he puts his in a little pocket there. There you go. So doors are locked. We're just doing some aligning at the minute. It takes 1 minute to do. Alright. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and start the aircraft. So today we've got the FMS system. We're using a GPS. Alright, so I'm not going to bother with any of this at the minute. There's no maintenance mode. Okay. So we're just going to ignore that because I don't need to use any of that at the minute. So we're just flying on VFR at the minute. So you can see the multifunctional displays here. And we've got obviously your altitude headometer, you've got your different instruments in the located center panel, and you've got your system and your nav system to the left. Like I said, I've not really had a play around with this yet, so I don't know if the map will come up yet. Not too sure really how this works. Like I say, I've not really had a proper play with this, so the interior is probably not the best for me to go through on this. I thought normally if you press map it would come up and show you a map, but never mind. No, nothing there. Nothing there. So we've got the waypoints in set all ready for head through the Lake District, so we should be able to follow that no problem at all. I thought if you press chart it should bring it up. Never mind. Right, so let's go ahead and enable some stuff here. Okay. You've got your lamp tests. which obviously does illuminate all the test pods. And down here you've got your panel lights, which you can turn up and down. We'll turn off. I don't need floodlights on, but we'll turn that on. You've got obviously your oxygen. Test switch doesn't work. So here, guys, on the throttle stick there, you've got your fuel cut off. Okay, so what you need to do is click that, and it knocks it forward. You can hear the fuel pumps kick in there as well. So what we'll do, we'll put nav lights on, or red anti-collision lights on, and you will notice on this aircraft that the anti-collision lights are actually in the wingtips on this aircraft rather than on top of a traditional aircraft. Now, one thing I will say, I have noticed in here the navigation, the lights on here really need to be worked on. Alright, I think just a couple of circle blobs at the minute, and they need to kind of blend them into the actual LED diodes, I think. So that is something that I'll mention to Iris in a few minutes on the old chat. But I do think they need to be worked on, because they don't look very good, them lights on the end of the wings there. There's better out there, especially when you look at the likes of the CJ4 with the mods on that, and you know, the LED systems are fantastic. What I will say is the landing lights don't work on a keyboard command at the minute. Or do they? Hang on, I've got two systems working here. Yeah, so they're not working on a switch at the minute, on a latch. So you do have to actually go in and put them on inside the aircraft. All right. You can see there the LED systems look good on the landing lights, so that's a good thing there. That they're quite filled quite nicely. So anyway, back into the cockpit. So you've got the heads-up display there. You do have two heads-up displays. Okay. You'll find when you're flying this may move. So what you can do is change the head-up display to the F18, and that will stay still inside the heads-up display alignment area. So let's go ahead and we shall get her cranked over. That's on, that's on, that's on, that's all active. Lights are on, vents normal, don't need any smoke. And we'll go ahead and press fuel pumps are on auto, ignition starter set to auto, ignition on, and let's have a listen to these sounds. So I'm going to shut up a minute and we're going to have a little listen to the sounds, turn on the systems, make sure we've got the engine system there, and let's see what we can hear. 13%. Oh. Okay, so I do have a little bit of a glitch there on the old startup. There's no startup sound from outside the aircraft. I'll mention that as well to David and the team, and hopefully get that matched up shortly. So there we go, we've got that warning. So we're going to turn the oxygen on. We don't need oxygen, but we'll turn it on to get rid of that warning light. And we're going to put the gens on as well. Back down to auto. Anti-skid is on. Get rid of the master caution. Close systems activated, and there we go. Follow that. Alright, have a look. Nav. flying on the bearing. There we go. Excellent. You've got obviously your autopilot controls down there as well in front of the throttle. Not too sure how you get the map display on here. You should be able to get a map functionality on there. I don't really know how to do it, so we shall leave it at that. Like I say, guys, quite a bit of work needs doing yet, so I hope it's not the final product. So we'll go ahead, we'll get the recognition lights on the wings, we'll put the anti-collision lights on, the pros we'll put on, we've got the landing lights on, so let's have a little look on the outside. You can see there we've got landing lights, recognition lights on the outside of the wings, and these are the lights I was talking about that need a bit of work doing to these, alright, not very good. You can see that the light diode bubbles actually float off the lights, which is, yeah. Speed brake. We've got some flaps as well. Lovely animation on there, fantastic animation. We've got flaps on for takeoff. And there we go, so let's go and take a little flight on her and see what she handles like. This is new to me, I haven't flown it today, alright, this is brand new, so we'll give it a whirl. So park and brake off. This aircraft will taxi in idle, alright. It does state that in the instruction manual. I don't think we'll need the full runway take off on this. I think we'll be able to lift off quite sharpish. So we're now flying from Barrow, and we're going to fly up the Lake District, up to Carlisle. So you can see there that's us now in idle. It is very quick on the ground idle, so you have to be very gentle with the brakes. And there's also no reverse thrust on this aircraft either, so you can't bring the pitch of the thrust down to reverse. So line up the runway, and we'll I'll shut up for a minute so we can listen to the sounds while we get airborne. Okay, let's go. 40%. Nice sound. Gear up, flaps up.
Manchester Center, Logan 10277715 is type 1 miles southwest of Echo Golf November Lima 600 feet. Request flight following.
Logan 10277715 Manchester Center. Squawk 0043.
The sounds are quite good actually. Very responsive sounds. I think a bit more of a linear sound would be good.
Logan 10277715 radar contact.
Does need to just bug up here. There we go.
Altimeter 29.71.
There we go, bugged up.
Roger,
So I'm
Logan
just reducing the throttle just to get the fuel economy there, about 220 knots.
Logan 10277715 contact. Flight approach 119.5.
Barrow and Furnace submarine solutions down there. Let's do some manoeuvres. Which is nice. I do like the cockpit head movement there. Very nice indeed. must admit, I'm using a single joystick with this, which is the Thrustmaster, and I am very impressed so far.
Going to 118.775 Logan 1027.715.
So we're actually going to head towards Arnside now, and we're going to make our way up towards Windermere, over Bowness, over the Fell at Ullswater, through Ullswater, and then we're going to fly on up to Carlisle from there. So I just need bugging up quite a bit, I must admit. I'm trimming down quite a lot, trimming up quite a lot. That's the autopilot armed as well now, and you can see that it's holding quite nicely. So autopilot off. So now we're gonna head to the left. Head towards that waypoint on our light display. I do think the controls are a little bit sensitive there. I'll do full left. Just a little bit too sensitive. There's not much kind of... maybe that's my controller needs sorting, but yeah, I would say it's a little bit too sensitive there. But nevertheless... I've also got the pilot's view from the rear. But remember guys, you do have to transfer the avionics to the rear, which is a bit of a faff one if I'm honest. As you can see, we're just coming down the bottom of Lake Windermere now. We're going to do a high speed pass over Bowness, Ambleside, over the Fell into Hardknot Pass down into Ullswater. Get down to a nice tactical level. We'll get down to about 500 feet. Give people a bit of a wow on the lake. Past Ferry Nab, show the belly. Heading towards the Fell, just after Ambleside. And it is supposed to mimic, you know, a fighter jet, so it's supposed to respond the same as a fighter, and all the avionics are similar to a fighter jet. Like I said, it would be nice to see the chart working on the far left MFD. She handles quite well. It's a little bit jittery, quite quick on the old controls. So we're going to head up to the Fell here, drop the power, invert ourselves and fly over the Fell. Power back on, bring it back round to the right over Hardknot Pass. Nice loop over Glenridding there. Say hello to the people down there. Hello, people. And give it some power now. Pull around there. There we go. Lovely. Pull some G's. Bleed her out. So this is the Iris heads-up display that's in the front of us now, and that's what comes on the aircraft. And also you've got a choice to choose from the F-18 model should you wish to have it. Past Park Foot Pulley Bridge, and we're going to pull up, give it some power. 35-degree angle there. Get ourselves up to about 6,000 feet. She climbs really well. And drop her down to 20. And 6,000. Bleed her off. Put the autopilot on there to hold, and we'll go down into a cruise. Fuel level, we've got 326 pounds of fuel on board. Like I say, guys, we can transfer that to the rear, where we can now jump into the rear of the aircraft, and we've obviously got all the systems on there as well. You do have a working HUD, there you go. A beautiful day. I'll transfer to the front. I'll say a lot of the systems I'm not very confident with at the minute, guys, on this aircraft, so I couldn't tell you how to set up a ILS landing or anything like that at the minute. I wish that would show a map. It would be very handy if it did. We're on track for our next waypoint. We're heading to Carlisle. We're going to make our landing. Left turn towards Carlisle. There we go, now we're going to make our descent. the air brake out to bring us right down now. Bring that speed down to about 120 knots or so. Flaps 1. Carlisle Airport to our 10 o'clock there. So it does fly really well. It's a little bit jittery, a little bit sensitive on the old joystick. Okay, that's the gear down. Flaps full. Bring her down nice and gently now. Bleed some of that speed off. $80 knots stall speed, guys, depending on your weight. I wouldn't really want to go under about 100 with the fuel weight I've got on there. I've got about half a tank of fuel, so it's quite heavy. Let's get lined up a little bit straighter than that. So torquey, this aircraft. Feet on the pedals now. It's very sensitive, alright. Any slight over movement here is just so sensitive. We'll adjust the power. Bring her down. Idle power now, glide it in, slow it down. There we go. Speed brake and hit the brakes. Oh, we're going to make this taxiway. Just about, just about. There we go. We've landed at Carlisle, so not a bad first little flight. Flies quite well. Little things at the minute, obviously it's a work in progress. The team is still updating this aircraft as we speak, so it's not the final product for release. But like I say, some of the things like the map's not working on the MFD there, which will get fixed, you know. Let's go ahead and shut it down. Parking brake on. Let's put all the pins in there for safety. Turn anti-collisions off. Recognition landing lights off. Probes off. And should be able to turn. And to shut this aircraft down, guys, all you've got to do is shut the fuel off. Press that button there.